Greetings, my fellow Americans, and welcome back to The Outlaw Feminist. My name is Blue, and this is where I tell all my business. The Outlaw Feminist brand is my American story, my life resume, if you will. In this episode, we will meet certified punk Jonathan Tosh Hughes and his dipshit Ichabod fuck trophies, William and Christian, and his not so thin, sweaty, Karen-esque lady friend, Melissa Tong. Yeah, I know, I'm horrible.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that.
August 9th, 2023 was an interesting day. The day started out in an embarrassing way for me. I showed up a day too early for that very important security meeting that I was to have with Kevin Chase, the property manager at Views on Fifth. Jessica, one of the leasing agents, found me in the lobby and had to remind me that my meeting was the next day. She seemed a little rattled by my presence outside Kevin's doors. I just returned to my apartment. Later that afternoon, I alerted Jessica to a weird situation for security to be aware of. There was a very animated homeless dude with building supplies and a wagon at the bus stop. Jessica pulled out her phone and said, "I'll call the police." I reminded her that the man wasn't doing anything illegal, it was just weird. Jessica seemed to relax a bit, but took her meal in the party room so she could keep an eye on the crazy would-be contractor. It was clear that she wasn't going to be able to deal with this situation easily, and there was not a man in sight that day. It was obvious that she wanted to do something to help but didn't know what to do, so I decided to go out and make contact and took photos. The dude was a bit goofy, but engaged appropriately, and was in no way presenting an aggressive or negative attitude. In fact, he was a little bit cool. Dude wasn't dangerous, he was just tweaking around doing stuff. I promptly reported back to Jessica and told her that I had photos of him in case something did go down. But he didn't seem to pose any threat and she could stand down. Jessica thanked me for helping and I returned to my apartment. On my way back up to my apartment, I noticed this signage in the elevator featuring contact information for building security. Evidently, super caring Kevin got the owners, Ken and Julie Bogdan, to relent. Check this out. An emergency email address? Are you fucking kidding me, man? The fuck out of here. But at least I had them moving in the right direction. On my way to the grocery store, I stopped in at Views on Fifth Drive to discuss an incident with the 1889 Prime Steakhouse general manager, Nicole Andres, and cook. It was no big deal, no harm, no foul, but it was important for the GM to know what happened. When I returned to Views on Fifth, I see this filthy, dirty guy in a junker car that wasn't even street legal, parked in the Views on Fifth handicap spot. He was some pop-a-lot guy for some park goer across the street. When he came back, I told him to fuck off and I shamed him for parking in the handicap spot. I made my way back to the other side of the building to find an Asian male who presented as agitated and confused, running up and down the sidewalk near the bus stop. I have seen this kid before. He began jerking on the locked glass doors of Taylor Ray's coffee shop and then ran to the Views on Fifth glass doors to the tower, but they were locked too. Dude was frantically looking up and down the street like somebody was chasing him, then bolted into the breezeway between the coffee shop and the West Small building. I followed to make sure that he didn't make it into any of our buildings to start his shit. Just a few months before, he had appeared at Taylor Ray's coffee shop, frantic and insisting that there was a black guy with a gun trying to kill him. He requested the police and a Coke. According to a woman that was on site, she had witnessed him doing this just down the street a year before. Evidently, he creates these giant dramatic scenes for attention, free food, and soda. So by this time, I'm back in front of the building near the 1889 Prime Steakhouse parking lot and noticed two cars parked in handicap spots. All I could think was, this is turning into some Lord of the Flies shit today. I took a photograph of the gray SUV or truck that was parked in the diagonal stripes closest to 4th Avenue. I didn't take any photos of the blue car because I saw the kid that I recognized as a resident, and I don't monitor or document or report my fellow residents, ever. I got about 50 feet when I heard shrieking over my shoulder. I turned to see a super short, pudgy, middle-aged man that I have never seen before yelling something towards me. Meet punk bitch Jonathan Tosh Hughes, Tosh for short. At his side was Christian Hughes, his youngest fuck trophy, and Melissa Tong, his not then girlfriend. I walked towards the maniac to better hear his rant. Because of my time in the bar industry and genetics, I'm kind of deaf. As I approached, Melissa Tong, armed herself with her cell phone. She and Christian joined Tosh in his aggressive, hateful, threatening tirade. Why were these people screaming obscenities at me? I never figured it out until I got my paperwork while sitting in the Thurston County Jail. I had no idea why these people were mad at me. I began to walk to the manager's office, but stayed a safe distance behind the gang. Suddenly, reaching the top of the dumpster area, Tosh Hughes stepped back away from his gang and to the left towards me and spit on my right Birkenstock shoe. Fucking yuck. Here's a little civics lesson for you. Spitting on somebody is not protected by the First Amendment and is considered a felony in the state of Washington. Assault in the fourth degree, RCW 9A.36.041 1. A person is guilty of assault in the fourth degree if, under circumstances not amounting to assault in the first, second, or third degree, or custodial assault, he or she assaults another, and spitting is considered assault. Miss Tong, clearly recognized this dangerous behavior in her man and began begging, "Stop, stop, stop, stop! What's happening?" She knows he's a psycho. Tosh Hughes then turned and walked away a few feet back to his gang, stopped, turned, then said something to the effect of, "You better shut your fucking mouth." Captain Fantastic left his gang to rush me, closing that few feet of safety, and stood in my face. I could feel his hair on my arm, and I could smell his foul breath. Fucking puke. And with his face less than an inch from mine, Tosh Hughes and I are about the same height, grunted something to the effect of, "Bitch, you better shut your fucking mouth or I'm gonna knock you the fuck out." He was shaking and twitching like a little girl. Another civics lesson. In the state of Washington, threatening somebody with assault in the first degree, RCW 9A.36.011, is illegal. Additionally, the First Amendment considers his speech fighting words, therefore not protected by the First Amendment. You see, the Supreme Court first defined fighting words in 1942 as words which, by their very utterance, inflict injury or tend to incite an immediate breach of the peace. Therefore, "Bitch, you better shut the fuck up or I'll knock you the fuck out," is not protected by the First Amendment. Additionally, the entire time that little Napoleon was leading his gang to commit felonies against me, he was calling me derogatory, hateful names like bitch and I think whore, maybe cunt and slut. Don't quote me on that, but bitch came out of his cocksucker early and often. Those words are associated with the way I identify, which is a woman, and I'm a female sex worker. So if he did any of those slut or whore ones too, that's another way I identify that he attacked me. Because I identify my sexuality is I get paid. So he was committing crimes against me while saying derogatory things, which is a hate crime. Shall we look to see what the revised Code of Washington says about hate crime enhancements? Hate crime offense, RCW 9A.36.080. 1. A person is guilty of a hate crime offense if he or she maliciously and intentionally commits one of the following acts because of his or her perception of the victim's race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, gender expression or identity, or mental, physical, or sensory disability, assaults the victim or another person, threatens a specific person or a group of persons, and places that person or members of that specific group or persons is reasonably feared for harm to the person or property. Wow, that was rough. Threatening words do not constitute hate crime offense if it is apparent to the victim that the person does not have the ability to carry out the threat. I am a 125-pound, 56-year-old woman. I was the oldest person there. There were 3 aggressive, threatening men and 1 huge woman. So I claim hate crime enhancement because I felt that I was being attacked strictly because I was a small woman and they could do that to me. I do not believe that this short shit of a man would have attacked a couple or a man. Now, please note that I think hate crime and hate speech stuff is unconstitutional and anti American and bullshit, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Back to the assault. The assault continued for a few more feet when another young, tall, skinny man, William Hughes, dipshit's other fuck trophy, joined the Hughes gang in the attack. The moment the eldest DNA cast-off showed up, Tosh Hughes forced his way across me, touching me again, and opened the Views on Fifth Tower door using a key fob. I was immediately freaked out. How does this predator have a key to the building? Who is this fucking dude? I look back to see Christian Hughes struggling to physically restrain his older, stronger brother from physically attacking me. Little Billy Boy is a psycho like his daddy. Melissa Tong just kept insulting me with her Karen phone in my face. I remember she looked sweaty. The remaining Hughes gang, now 2 men and 1 woman, remained outside a foot away from me while I attempted to get into my building. So let's talk about gang activity, shall we? According to RCW 28A.600.455.2, gang means a group which A consists of 3 or more persons, has identifiable leadership, and on an ongoing basis regularly conspires to act in concert mainly for criminal purposes. The only time I came in contact with these people, they were committing criminal acts. A few short minutes later, Lil Dick Tosh rushed out of the building, attempting to hit me with the lobby door, but since the doors were glass, he wasn't able to aim for me. I had the ability to move first. I saw him coming. But he stomped past me as close as possible, and I had to move out of his way to ensure that he didn't shoulder check me and make contact. But his shirt did touch me. Criminal attempt, RCW 9A.28.0201. A person is guilty of an attempt to commit a crime, assault, RCW 9A.28.0201. A person is guilty of an attempt to commit a crime if, with intent to commit a specific crime, assault, he or she does any act which is a substantial step towards the commission of that crime, like swinging the door at me and attempting to shoulder check me twice. But what you need to know about this sack of shit, this is par for the course for this brother. This is just how he acts. You can find a copy of Jonathan Tosh Hughes' unofficial criminal record and some court information at the end of this video. His criminal record is actually pretty impressive. Like, I'm impressed, but not surprised by any stretch of the imagination. Well, that's all we have for this episode of my Pronoun is It storyline. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and notify so you don't miss any of my stripper drama. In the next episode of this series, Cop Collars, I'll run down the lies for you guys that Kevin Chase, the Views on Fifth property manager, and Jonathan Tosh Hughes, the PAB, told the Olympia Police Department. I got receipts and photos. Poor fuckers. Until the next time, be safe, and baby, be dangerous.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that.